Redditors, who are not in love with their SOs, why are you still with them? Throwaway. I honestly don't know. Because it's been more than 25 years and it's just easier to live as roommates than to go my own way. Even though in a lot of ways that would be easier. Additionally, she would be royally fucked in so many ways. No real income. No place to really go. She wouldn't be able to afford a nice place. I'd be perfectly fine, but she'd be in a world of hurt. I don't necessarily love her, but I don't hate her enough to do that to her. So I stay. Same position. I rented him a place for a year, paid all the utilities and hookups, and told him, you have a year to figure sh*t out. Zero regrets? I literally bought my freedom and lack of guilty conscience. Just a thought, if you really want to move forward. Did he figure things out? From my cell. If I leave, I'm the perpetrator, breaking up a marriage, wrecking a home, etc., and hurting and humiliating my kids, my parents, my in-laws. But if I stay, I'm a victim of my miserable husband. And everyone wants to help victims. She's not wrong. I left, and I am now the bad guy and everything gets blamed on me. People can treat me however they want to, because ultimately it's my own fault for breaking up my marriage. Mostly this is my immediate family I'm talking about, and my ex. I mean, I do stand up for myself, but can't control other people. We have a special needs daughter, who doesn't talk, until she's able to tell me that something happened and she can understand more complex ideas and situations. There's no way I'm putting her in someone else's hands. My husband and I just don't mesh. He doesn't like me and I don't like him. For the most part we can get along and even have fun doing things together with our daughter. But we haven't been intimate in years. We're both in our late 30s, and we reasonably don't have family to help. Although once she starts going to school full-time, I believe I will have more options to do something financially productive with my time. She had me convinced everything was either normal or my fault. Then she cheated and is playing the victim because I read some of her messages after I found out. She lied. Now it takes a year to divorce where I live, so technically still married for a year. Anyone reading this for personal reasons, just get out. It'll be better once it's all over, man. Just make sure you take a break from everyday life, work, everything. Go somewhere you've never been to get out of the environment and have fun. Fuck me. This is the most depressing thread I've ever seen on Reddit. I've had 2 or 3 serious girlfriends in 15 years of adulthood, so I know the shitty feeling of feeling alone. I would rather be alone than half of these relationships. My brother can't stand his wife. Hasn't really been in love with her since about a year before their wedding. He talks about divorce to me when we're alone, but he'll never do it. He thinks he'll never meet anyone else, being 32 with no social life. Plus there's a strong possibility she might kill herself if they broke up. Or at least attempts it. So together they'll stay. I just hope they don't bring kids into it. Fuck. I'm 32, single, trying to have a social life. That's okay. You know what's worse than being alone? Being with someone that makes you feel alone. This is so true. I hated my last relationship and was dying to be single again. It's way better than being in a bad relationship. My boss has been vocal about wanting to leave, but he has kids and no prenup, so he can't afford it. My cousin told me about 3 hours after he got married that he didn't want to get married, but now he was terrified he would lose his house and basically all his money. Alimony plus child support, if they got divorced. I told him that he should have said something 3+ hours ago and he said he couldn't. I then asked him if this was such a big concern to him, why he didn't get a prenup. His exact words to me were, "Those don't actually exist, they're just made up for movies." They've been married just over 2 years now and I'm pretty sure it's only going to end if she leaves. him or one of them dies. Considering he's 26 and she's 23 or 24, it sounds like he's in for a long, miserable life. Your cousin is an idiot. No argument here. We're only a couple months apart in age and I can safely say he's been this way since pretty much day one. Till the best way to stay in a long-term relationship is to be suicidal and have kids. Joke's on you, I'm already dead inside. Neither of us experience attraction, but we still care deeply for each other. He's my best friend. Also, the marriage was mutually beneficial. Edit. Wowza, I did not expect this to blow up. Y'all literally doubled my karma lol. So thanks for all the positive support. I tried to clarify some things in the comments. But fellow aspect people, beware that the incels and gatekeepers do come out a bit. Honestly, that sounds like a good deal to me. It's a tad odd, but a marriage only works for the relationship outside of simple attraction. Did you ever think that maybe what you feel is actually love? What if that person left, never to be seen? Would your heart ache? I guess I have a different definition of love. I was in a pretty bad relationship when I was younger. I stayed because I thought nobody else would love me. He was incredibly abusive and would remind all the time that if I left nobody would ever care about me or love me like he does. I was just so terrified to leave. What if he was right? It's been almost 10 years since that relationship and I'm happy to report that he was wrong. Although it's taken a lot of work to realize that, and I still have fleeting moments of doubt. As others have said, it is impossible to love someone the same way every day. So it is normal that on some days everything is fine and on other days you are not sure how you feel. You don't know what love is anymore. You feel confused and suffocated. But what really matters is knowing that you are unable to be disloyal or purposely hurt the person you have chosen to be your partner. And you know you can count with them when you are well and when you're not. And when you think about the relationship, you know you don't want to be with anyone else. I think that idea we have that love should be all romantic and roses is very wrong. Life is not like that. A relation is hard work. In the end of the day, what matters is be there for each other. I'm no longer with them, but was with her for 8 years. I never loved her but stayed because of a combination of self-loathing and she relied on me for everything, so I was afraid of what would happen if I left. Also financially I couldn't live on my own. But I bit the bullet anyway because I can figure out the rest, and staying with her was only stunting her ability to learn how to be an adult. My soon-to-be ex-husband and I had been together for almost 8 years when we both decided to get a divorce. Had been high school sweethearts, but we both were going in different directions in our life and it was time to move on. I knew right after we got married, I was only 20 at the time, that I think I was more in the idea of being married and in love than actually being in love and happy.
Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.